Good morning, Algebra 1 CP students. This is a lesson for my B-Day students for May 12th and my A-Day students for May 13th. So in this lesson, we're going to do just a few more skills to prepare us for factoring. Now, the questions I'm going to ask you to solve today may seem a little arbitrary, but it's actually helping us. Once you see what the steps are for factoring, you'll see how it all falls into place, okay? So we are practicing like sub-skills that will be required in order to perform a major skill, which is factoring, okay? All right, so it's kind of like playing one small piece of a song in order to be able to play the whole song well later on. So we're just practicing a little sub-skill. All right, so I'll just jump. There's no theory behind this. I'm just going to jump to an example. So problem one, we're going to consider a quadratic trinomial, right? That's what this is called. X squared plus 7x plus 10. And this is what I want you to do for all of these problems. The first thing I want you to do is identify coefficients a, b, and c in ax squared plus bx plus c. So a is the number multiplying x squared, b is the number multiplying x, and c is the constant term. And then the second thing I want you to do is find two numbers. So this is kind of the skill that I said might seem just a little arbitrary, but you'll see how it all comes together. So I want you to find two numbers, r and q. And I mean, they're just two numbers. I'm calling them r and q so we can reference them later. But they're two numbers, r and q, so that their product, so when you multiply them, you get AC, or A times C, and their sum is B. All right, so let's see what I mean. Let's see how you would solve this. So part A, let's first identify A, B, and C. Okay, so A is the number multiplying the x squared term. So A is 1. Because there's nothing multiplying the x squared term, there's an implied 1, right? B is the number multiplying the x term, so B is 7. And C is the constant being added at the end, so C is 10. So A is 1, B is 7, C is 10. So I identified the coefficients A, B, C. In the second part, I'm looking for two numbers so that their product is A times C. Now what is A times C? A is 1, C is 10. So A times C is 1 times 10, or 10. So I'm looking for two numbers so that their product is 10 and their sum is B. Now what is their sum? Their sum is 7. So their sum is B, or 7. Oops. Okay, so you are looking for two numbers so that when you multiply them, you get 10, right? That's what it means for the product of two numbers to equal 10. It means when you multiply the two numbers, you get 10. And when you add them, you get 7. So that's what it means for the sum of two numbers to be 7. When you add them, you get 7. Okay, so let's start with the product. So remember what we kind of did last time? First, you try to find two numbers with a certain product, and then you check the sum. Okay, so let's try 1 and 10. Let's try 1 and 10, okay? Let's try 1 and 10. So, the product, 1 times 10 is 10, so the product is 10. Now, when you add them, do you get 7? 1 plus 10 is 11, so you do not get 7. All right, let's try, can you come up with two other numbers that multiply to 10? How about 2 and 5? How about 2 and 5? So 2 times 5 is 10. And then 2 plus 5 is 7. That checks out. So the two numbers are 2 and 5. And then again, we're going to call them R and Q just for the purposes of factoring later on. But I'm going to say the two numbers are R equals 2 and Q equals 5. You can also write R equals 5 and Q equals 2. That doesn't matter really. But the two numbers are 2 and 5. All right. I hope that made sense. Let's look at another one. So problem 2, given the quadratic trinomial x squared plus 6x plus 8, you want to identify the coefficients a, b, and c in ax squared plus bx plus c, and then you want to find two numbers so that their product is ac, right? And their sum is b. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is identify A, B, and C. A is the number multiplying the x squared term. In this case, there's nothing multiplying the x squared term, so there's an implied 1. So A equals 1. B is the number multiplying the x term, so B equals 6. And C is the constant plus that's being added or subtracted, so in this case it's positive 8 or 8. All right, now we're looking for two numbers R and Q so that their product, so we're looking for two numbers so that their product is A times C. A times C is 1 times 8 or 8. So we're looking for two numbers so that their product is A times C or 8, and their sum is B, which is 6. So you're looking for two numbers so that when you multiply them, you get 8, and when you add them, you get 6. All right? So let's see. So first, we're going to find two numbers that multiply to 8, and then we're going to check the sum. That's kind of how we've been solving these. So two numbers that multiply to 8. Let's try 1 and 8. 1 times 8 is 8, so they do multiply to give you 8. Do they add up to give you 6? Let's see. 1 plus 8 is 9. That's not 6, so it cannot be 1 and 8. How about we'll try 2 and 4. 4 and 2. 4 times 2 equals 8, so that checks out. And then 4 plus 2 equals 6. So that checks out as well. So 2 and 4 or 4 and 2 do multiply to 8, and they do add up to 6. So you can say the two numbers are R equals 2 and Q equals 4. Or you can say R equals 4 and Q equals 2, but it's 2 and 4. The two numbers are 2 and 4. All right, so let's try this one more time.